The NBA is terrified of what Oklahoma City just did in the NBA draft. Oklahoma City just won the NBA championship, all right? They were the best team in the league last year, and they come out and have one of the best drafts out of every team in the NBA. That's not something you're supposed to do. That's not something that happens. You don't go out there, become the best team in the league, win the finals, win the championship, have your parade next day, have the first round of the draft, and have the second round of the draft, and somehow come out of it as the winners of the draft. Steal and sleeper pick after each and every single one for Oklahoma City, and especially the second round guy that they got today. I'll be honest, I didn't do much research into these projected second round picks, all right? Just like two or three. We didn't get the two or three guys I did research in, and we took someone out of Northwestern who is apparently an absolute stud for a two-way contract, along with Thomas Sorber, which I now know how to pronounce the name. Thank you, guys. All right, so we're going to break down what they did in the draft, why this is one of the best drafts, that in the entirety of the NBA, along with what media members are saying about this guy that Oklahoma City took in the second round. Before we get into all that, though, quick moment to recognize once again. All right, oops, wrong picture. 4,390 current subscribers right now. You guys have been crushing that subscribe button. The support you guys have shown the past few days has been, it's been crazy to kind of see happen. So, let's go ahead and hit 5K by next week. At this point, let's be ambitious about it because we can do it at this rate. Okay, so let's hit 5K by next week. Let's get 10K over this summer. All right, go ahead, smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate all of you guys that have been subscribed already before. If you aren't subscribed yet, go ahead, join one of the fastest growing Thunder channels out there, and don't miss a single minute of the action regarding the Oklahoma City Thunder this offseason, as they are your 2025 NBA champions and trying to repeat. With that out of the way, let's go ahead, get talking, get a look into what happened in the NBA draft. Okay, what did the Oklahoma City Thunder exactly do? We know they took Thomas Sorber at pick 15 and they traded pick number 24 for a top 16 protected pick by the Spurs in 2027. All right, we know they did that. Second round, though, they took someone that some media members are calling a sleeper pick. All right, this is who they ended up taking. The Thunder select Brooks Barnhizer with the number 44 pick overall. Someone asked him, is he good? And Rylan Stiles, who is one of the more trusted media members for the Thunder, I think we can all agree with that. He said he's a fine two-way contract caliber guy, and we'll see what OKC's developmental staff can do with him. Really like him to learn under Cam Woods and company with the Blue. And we all know any second-round pick was going to spend a lot of time with the Blue just because of how stacked this OKC team is. And in the second round, you're going to try to take a bunch of developmental and project guys. Brooks Barnhizer is no different, all right? He was a great player for Northwestern during his career. That final season he played there, he was an absolute dog, had some insane stats, and he seems like an Oklahoma City Thunder guy. Some, draft experts I've talked to regarding him, they said that he's not just a good player, he's an even better person. We all know Presti loves to draft people over players. I think that's exactly what he did with Barnhizer here. All right, I think he disregarded any of his stats. Not saying his stats are bad. His stats are extremely good. The more I look at him, look at his tape, he is a great pickup at 44 overall. I think Presti saw the kind of dude he was, and then immediately was like, yep, this is the one. I know I wanted Rocco Zikarsky, okay. I've heard some things about his personality that may have drove the Thunder away from him, but I am not mad at Barnhizer whatsoever. That like what I'm seeing from media members and people talking about him, he seems like a sleeper pick that the Thunder somehow ended up getting, okay? That's the crazy part about it. Right here, Rylan Stiles also just got a text from an agent regarding Barnhizer saying, incredible pick. That's something you want to hear. All right. He didn't disclose who the agent was. It could have been his own agent. It could have been someone else. I don't know who it could have been. All right. But any agent telling you that it's an incredible pick just out of the blue, not, telling you, like, not asking him, like, what do you think of that? That's a good sign. That is 100% a great sign to see. We can take a look at some more stuff right here. And I kind of like this. All right. Point Made Basketball tweeted this out, and it's a little bit of a funny kind of, grade for him. All right. 44th overall, Oklahoma City Thunder, Brooks Barnhizer, grade B. Getting a B or more grade in the second round means you just got a great value pick. The Thunder stick to the game plan, drafting versatile, high feel with a good defensive acumen. Barnhizer is all of the above, and while he hasn't been the best shooter, OKC is arguably the best shooting coach in the league. Don't forget about that. We do have the best shooting coach in the NBA. Okay, so he can develop it, and he also said arguably best mullet in the draft class too. You can't argue that if you've seen the dude. Okay. He does have a pretty good looking mullet. All right. Let's go ahead and stop talking about all this though. And let's, take a look at his stats. These are his stats right here. He's 6'6", 215 pounds. All right. Good athletic frame. During his career, he played 96 games, averaged 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists on 41% shooting from the field, 31% from 3, 78% at the free throw line. So, it could be better, but it could be worse, all right? Win share is 9.6 for his career. That's pretty good to see. So shooting-wise, all right, offensively, definitely room for improvement. No doubt about it whatsoever. When we talk about his defensive stats, though, and they aren't showing up right here, but you can take a look at some of his game film, okay, see what he does. Look at his defensive stats as well. He's a defensive monster, and it looks like Oklahoma City's feeding into just, look, we don't care about offense at this point. As long as we put up 100, 110 points a game, we'll live because we're not going to give up more than 100 points. I think that's the kind of mindset that they have now. And they prove that with the draft picks here with Brooks Barnhizer and Thomas Sorber. All right, my bad. I'm still trying to pronounce the name correctly, okay? Drafting both those guys who are defensive-minded players, that's where they thrive on defense and they can develop a little bit of an offensive game. I think that shows Presti and company just truly want a defensive god squad for the next few years. And that they get good value picks in the second round all the time as well. Aaron Wiggins is a great example of a good second round value pick at pick number 55. Isaiah Hartenstein, even though we didn't draft him, he turned into a great second round pick. Kenrich Williams went undrafted. Lou Dort went undrafted. Jay Will was drafted 34th overall. There's a common trend here that the Thunder just draft great in the second round. And even undrafted guys. They find insanely talented individuals and, insanely talented players and take them in that second round or when they go undrafted. And they thrive in developing them and realizing, look, if we can just put them in the right system, they can become a great asset for this team. So Barnhizer could be no different. Now, the big guy from this draft, though, is Sorber. All right? Take a look at his stats again. He's 6'10", 255 pounds. He has a 7'6" wingspan, though. That's something to look out for. A really big frame, really athletic, lanky arms, all right? He only played 1 year at Georgetown his freshman year, 24 games played, 14.5 points, 8.5 total rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 53% from the field, 16% from 3. And I know a lot of you guys are worried about that 3-point shooting. A lot of these guys can develop a better 3-point shot, and you guys are worried about that in the playoffs. I was too. You also got to, kind of hope and, have faith in the guys that, hey, look, it was just their first time making it that deep in the playoffs, making this kind of run. And the 3-point shooting, I think, was better than than the 2024 postseason. So I think we can develop it. So don't worry about his 3-point shooting at all whatsoever. 72% from the free throw line, 54% efficient field goal percentage, and a win share of 3.4. Really great stats. A lot of people think this is like the steal of the draft, getting him at 15, as a lot of people think he is perfect for the Thunder system. I, think he's a great fit for the Thunder system as well. I thought Queen was also a great fit. But, if we drafted either guy, all right, I would not have been mad whatsoever. He was on my top 5 list for the Thunder for sure. Not mad at this pick whatsoever. The more you look at him, the more you look at the tape, the more look how he fits, how he talks about the team as well. This dude is the steal of the draft. He is. He loves Oklahoma City already. He already has talked about the fans, how he wants to put on a show for them, okay? And he's going to bust his ass off. Same with Brooks. This is a classic example of Presti drafting people over players, and it's going to pan out. Maybe more GMs are going to start doing that, all right? But Presti looks and like, hey, you're a great basketball player, all right? But how are you as a person? They check out, notice all that stuff. They realize it, and then all of a sudden, boom, they turn into a great player. Lou Dort happened with that. Jalen Williams happened with him. Aaron Wiggins, all these guys, you notice, they're great people, but they're also good basketball players. They're good players, just better people. So I think Presti did the exact same kind of trend in this draft, and it's going to work out. As now, the league's terrified. All right, the league is absolutely terrified of what the Thunder just did in the NBA draft. They are the champions of the NBA, and somehow they just had one of the best drafts out of every single team in the league. It is going to be scary for the next few years. That's all I got for this video. Let me know who you guys wanted the Thunder in the draft, or if you're completely happy with what they did here. That's all I got for this video. See you guys in the next one.